Hi, this is my response for 550A reflection video for the formative assessment. And I am responding to the prompt, how do you know that the students in your class have accomplished the learning goals? I would know that the students in my class have accomplished the learning goals by assessing students' content knowledge by means of informal and formal assessments. Those assessments will inform me of whether students in my class have accomplished the learning goals. I am going to provide a few examples. I will use low stakes assessment, and I would like to cite research which is evidence-based, research from Edutopia, which states that students learn better through retrieval enhanced learning, which can be practiced with smaller quizzes, daily questions, opportunities for reflection, and personalized oral quizzes. And this is research done by Edutopia. One of the assessments I would do by means of an informal assessment is by assessing whether students are able to list, describe, and name 3 to 5 character traits from one or a few characters from the play that we are currently reading, and we are currently reading Antigone. So if students could list a couple of traits, then I would know that the content goals have been met. Another assessment, I would ask students to summarize or paraphrase a scene, say scene 1 or 2 or 3, or analyze part of a scene. And if students are able to provide a summary, I would be very specific on the summary. I would maybe ask them to write or verbally explain a summary which contains maybe 2 to 5 sentences. I would also ask students to paraphrase a scene and explain what happens in that scene by using a prompt such as previously in Antigone, and the students would complete the statement by explaining what happened previously in a particular scene. And another way that I would informally assess students is by asking them higher order thinking questions, such as I could ask a student what motivated a particular character to behave or act or say what they said. And students would get an opportunity to respond, and based on the students' response, I would be able to assess whether the students are meeting the learning goals or not. Additionally, I would maybe quiz students, but chunk the information. Instead of giving them a big quiz, I would just test them or quiz them on a smaller portion of a scene and give them very specific questions that they would be able to respond, and based on that response, I would monitor students' understanding and knowledge. Lastly, I would ask specific questions about themes and characters. For instance, students could respond to a question such as, how are the characters related? What is the character's motivation to act one way or another. And those are just a few examples of informal assessments. And an example of a formal assessment is I would ask students to write an essay about one particular character, or the students could adapt the play and act it out. This way, I would be able to assess the students' knowledge and measure or evaluate whether the learning goals have been met.